Hey guys, what's going on? It's Waldo. Today we're here for episode number 11 of my Out of the Park baseball series here on OOTP 17 with the Los Angeles Angels. That was probably the worst intro I have done to date for this series, but as you can see here, we are at the end of spring training. It is April 6th. Opening day is tomorrow. Opening day is tomorrow. Looks like we start off with a 3-game set against the Mariners, and then we go off to Texas to play the Rangers. Then we have Boston and Chicago White Sox before we have our first off day on Friday the 19th. So, if we go to... Actually, no, I don't want to go here yet. Let's just go back to the team screen. Okay, so this looks like it won't take too long, which is good, because I did not mean to go here first. You didn't see anything. Okay, so you see, we were actually pretty lucky in terms of injuries. The only injury we had was Trout. He had a fractured finger, so it originally happened on March 6th, and he was supposed to be out for 6 weeks, but the timing kind of worked out because now it's the start of the season, and he's only going to be out for 1 to 2 weeks, so, it could have been a lot worse, definitely. If we go to spring coverage, we actually finished with we finished tied for the fourth best record in the spring, 18-10. We finished tied with the Toronto Blue Jays. The Rays finished, I believe, they finished tied for second with the Arizona Diamondbacks at 19-19, and the Pirates finished with the best record in spring training at 20-8. The expansion teams, the Jacksonville Hanu, they finished 12-16, and the San Antonio Pilots, they finished 7-21. So that's how the expansion teams are looking at spring batting leaders. Let's see. So Cole Calhoun, he had one of the top 8 OPSs during the spring, 1.020. Brandon Belt, it seems like he had a really nice spring, a 354 average with a homer and 13 RBIs. Calhoun finished tied with him for hits, and it seems like also Conforto and Manny Garcia also finished in the top 8, which is good to see. Conforto, it seems like he also had a nice spring, a 329 average, 3 homers, 18 ribbies. Brandon Belt finished tied for fifth with, that's tied for fifth with 7 doubles. Home runs, Calhoun and Crone each had 4, which is good. It's always good to have some power. Conforto and Crone finished in the top 5 in runs batted in. Conforto and Calhoun also finished in the top 5 in runs scored. If we go to strikeouts, Maldonado, our new catcher, he finished top 5 for most strikeouts, which is a bit concerning, but the main reason I got him was for his defense, so I'm not too concerned about how he does offensively. Honestly, if he hits above 235, I'd be really surprised. And then in terms of total bases, Calhoun, Conforto, and Belt all finished in the top 5. Moving on to pitching leaders, Gossman finished with 5 wins, Bedrosian finished with 3, but obviously wins, you don't really want to look at that. Morin, it seems like, had 10 saves during the spring, which was good enough for 4th. Pretty surprising. Iglesias, Kershaw, and Matz all started 6 games. So naturally they all ended up pitching the most innings during the spring. Gossman, he finished 3rd in hits per 9 innings. Let's see, anybody else here? Kershaw, he had 23 strikeouts in 6 starts. So he had 23 strikeouts in 24 innings pitched. So that's roughly a strikeout per inning. So I guess I can't be too upset with that. Gossman held opponents to a .121 average. He had a .65 whip. And so that's how that's looking. So if we go to preseason predictions now, we are projected to finish 85-77, 15 games out behind the Astros. We got really unlucky here because the Astros are just filled with what seems like a lot of very good players. You see they have Daz Cameron, who is our head scout is. It seems like the OSA ratings are a little higher on him than our head scout, but regardless, they have him leading off. They have George Springer, who once again seems like the OSA ratings are higher on. Excuse me. I think I'm getting some allergies. Wonderful. They have AJ Reed, first baseman. Seems like he can hit pretty well. Seems like he can play the field okay as well, too. So it seems like they have a solid first baseman in Reed. And then, of course, obviously, Carlos Correa, who is a stud. He's only 24 years old. He's only going to get better as time goes on. Mike Gerber, it seems like a pretty solid corner outfielder. Colin Moran, a really good third baseman who seems like he can hit and field pretty well. His speed's not up there, but he can hit and field pretty well. Who else do they have? They still have Colby Rasmus, which is a bit surprising, but it seems like, he's still doing pretty good for him. He had 34 home runs for him in 2016 and 26 and 29 the past 2 years, so at least he's still getting it done for him. Their catcher is Garrett Stubbs, who it seems like he's pretty average, I suppose. And then their second baseman is Joe Sclafani. It's very left-handed heavy, I will say that. That would be a bit concerning for me. Looking at their pitching, they have Lance McCullers Jr., who has turned into quite the pitcher. Both OSA and our head scout are pretty high on him. They still have Dallas Keuchel, not surprisingly. OSA and our head scout think he's a 4-star pitcher. He's not. He can't get the word out of my mouth. He'll probably do better in real life than he will in this game, it seems. I mean, 2017 at 3.88 ERA. His BABIP was 270. He was about a 3-win player. And the last year he was about a 4-win player. So I think he's probably going to do a little better in real life than he does in this game. But regardless, that's still a pretty good 1-2 punch. They have RJ Alvarez. So they got 3 4-star pitchers in the top 3. That's always good to have. That's a problem we had for a while. Kyle McHugh, what is this, a 2.5-star or 3-star pitcher? He seems, that's a solid back of the rotation starter. And it looks like they actually got Tyler Skaggs, believe it or not. He did pretty good for him last year in, limited action. 25 games, 2 started, 39 innings of 1.62 ERA, 1.23 WHIP, 29 Ks, 13 walks. He did pretty solid for them. So, hope the best for him. Obviously, former Angel there, and Ivan Pinheiro, who I doubt will be in the rotation because I highly doubt they're going to go 6 deep for their starting rotation. It seems like they still haven't adjusted their roster because they still have all these relief pitchers. They still have Ken Giles, though, which is not surprising. Guy's a stud. He's done really well. Yeah, like this guy's done amazing. I'm not mad that the Phillies traded him either. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I know there's some Phillies fans that are upset that we traded him. I'm not, because he was a luxury that we didn't need at this point. It's just so easy to find good, serviceable relief pitchers that the fact we traded Giles for what we traded him for, I was pretty happy. And it seems like they also have Andrew Miller and Greg Holland. So they have a pretty nice, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the rotation, and they have a nice solid, 7, 8, 9 guy in the bullpen, and they even have Tony Watson, who himself is really solid. So they have really solid Edison Volquez, Joe Musgrove, James Pazos, even Mike Fiers. So they have, really solid pitching, and their lineup's, pretty good too. I can see why this team won, 113 games last year. I could definitely see why. It says that they're supposed to have a 3.84 team ERA, hit 260 with 220 home runs and 70 stolen bases. Strike out about 1,300 guys, walk about 500. Us, on the other hand, we are supposed to hit around 248 with 150 home runs, 70 stolen bases. A 3.66 team ERA, of course, that is aided by Kershaw. 1,346 strikeouts, 449 walks, 648 runs against, 640 runs for. Ideally, you would like to see that runs for be higher than the runs against, so hopefully that does happen. In terms of the top 10 hitters, Trout is not on here, which is not that surprising to me. He is injured, so I'm not surprised that he's not on here. Who is this? It's always nice to see these new guys. Ryan O'Hearn. Wow, this is this guy. Did he replace Hosmer? I guess he replaced Hosmer, huh? He had to have. Well, unless they're playing him in right field, but I doubt that. Let me see. Let me go to KC. Is Hosmer still on the team? No, Hosmer's not on the team. I feel like I know that. Why do I know that Hosmer's not on the team anymore? That's right. He was a free agent. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I forgot that, but at least they got a good replacement. He's batting clean. Oh, well, they do have him playing right field. Their first baseman is Rangel. Oh, well, he's not too bad, I guess. Oh, really good defensively at first base. I see why they're starting him there. Oh, okay. So if we go back to here, Sano, Judge, Jerickson Profar, Odora, Mazzara, JD Martinez. It seems like he's developed into a very nice player, at least in this game. Who's that? Sam Travis, and Manny Machado. We are supposed to have 2 of the top 10 pitchers, though, albeit 1 a relief pitcher in Mike Morin, but Clayton Kershaw, supposedly supposed to be the best pitcher in the American League. Bobby Wall. Wow. They're saying he's going to have an ERA under 2. A 1.90 ERA in 27 games started. That would be surprising. Any other? So Ken Giles is here. He's a relief pitcher. Sean Doolittle, Kelvin Herrera. That looks to be about it. Oh, no. Who's this? Carson Smith. Okay. So hopefully Kershaw does a little bit better than this ERA. I'd like to see him have an ERA under 3, but, that's it is what it is. And then looking here, So the San Antonio Pilots, let me just go over these expansion teams. They're supposed to have a record of 70 and 92 in their first year, and the Hanu are in the AL East, I believe. Yeah, and they're actually supposed to finish above the Rays with a 77 and 85 record. So it'll be interesting to follow them, see how they develop over the next few years. I've never, as I mentioned in the last episode, I never really had to deal with an expansion draft before, so it'll be interesting to see if that team actually does develop. Not only this year, but through the upcoming drafts and international free agency, because I'm sure they're going to take advantage of that. But before we move on, one thing I did want to make a note of, I noticed before we started that we're actually running towards the end of Mike Trout's contract, and it's clear that this guy's going to be a $40 million per year kind of guy, and it's, we obviously have the money for it. If we go back to the team home screen, or the manager's office, you see we have $77 million for extensions, and, now my reputation's poor, whoops. We obviously have the money for it. It's, just matter of whether or not we want to bring him back, and I think it's pretty clear that we want to bring this guy back because where is he? If I go to home, okay, because the guy's one of the best hitters in the game. He's only 27 years old. We'd be stupid not to bring him back, but at the same time, I would not be opposed to just looking at trade offers for Trout. I'm not saying I'm going to trade him. I'm just saying I would not be opposed to just looking to see what we could get for him. And that's all I'm going to say on that. I don't want to stir up any speculation that I'm going to trade this guy because that's not the plan. It's just, it would just be interesting to see what we could get for him. I'm not going to do that right now, but I think I've gone through all I want to do. So if we go to the schedule, I think what I'm going to do, same thing I always do, I'm going to go to May 2nd here, I suppose, after this Detroit game, and then we will catch up with the team and see how we... One thing I would like to point out, sorry I forgot to do this earlier, the top 10 prospects list was released. It seems like the Padres have the top overall prospect. It seems like this catcher, Luis Garcia, it seems like he's never going to hit for average, but he could be a solid power. Yeah, wow, look, his gap power is going to be really high. So is his home run power. His eyes looks to be pretty good. It seems like he'll be able to avoid Ks. So that could be, a 230 average, but, 30-plus home run guy, it seems like. Matt Smurrell, he is a relief pitcher at this point for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's number 2. Ty Hensley of the Cardinals. Jason Groom, that's my boy. That's who I hope the Phillies get in this upcoming draft. I'm a little salty now that I did not draft this guy in the initial draft in 2017 because this would have been a very nice pitcher to have to complement what we have right now. He's actually from New Jersey. He's pretty close to me. He actually goes to Barnegat High School in Barnegat, New Jersey. I'm hoping the Phillies get him, one, because he's a local kid, pretty much, and the guy just seems like he could be really, really good. I did like a segment on him for my college radio station. Just look this guy up if you have this, have the chance, because this dude, Jason Groom, he's gonna be a stud. Like, I know like the stigma around high school pitchers, and they do good in high school, but then they blow or they bust in the pros. This guy seems like he could be, the guy. Like, they're comparing him to Clayton Kershaw. You don't just throw that comparison around lightly. But moving on, David Hamilton, he rounds out the top 5, and then Efrain Beltran on the Detroit Tigers, Sawyer Bridges on the Rays, Brad Gimmick on the Pittsburgh Pirates, Jared Hart on the Marlins, and Cody Medeiros on the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, they did change so I should probably stop doing those preseason predictions as early as I do because they changed them again. Well, not too much. Now we're just projected to be 88 and 74. Team average at 254, so the team average went up, the ERA went up. That's surprising that the Astros are supposed to have as high in ERAs. A 4.44 ERA, that's very surprising. We still have Kershaw up here as well as Morin. It seems like all the other relief pitchers that were here fell out. It seems like Keone Kela, Keela, I'm not too sure how to pronounce his name. It seems like he moved up because he wasn't here initially. Verlander's still going strong. That's surprising. How old is he now? 36? And apparently he's going to be one of the top 10 pitchers. I find that very hard to believe. I don't think he's going to be a top 10 I find it, that is very doubtful in my opinion. And we still don't have any of the top 10 batters, although it seems like Betts and Donaldson moved up. I'm not sure if Tellez is new. I forget if I mentioned Tellez. I think he might be new to this list, but not 100% sure. Now the Hanu are supposed to finish under the Orioles. The Rays suddenly got a jump from something, and the Pilots are supposed to be one of 2 teams lose 100 games, it looks like. Yeah, wow, look at that. The White Sox, 55 and 107. What happened to them? Eaton, LeMahieu, Abreu, Kanzler, Fowler, Mile, Wendell, Cave. Is that Jake Cave? Yep. Anderson, Rodon. Yeah, that's a pretty weak team. I'm not going to lie. I wonder if they're going to get better soon. All right, but anyway, let me go back to what I was going to do. We're just going to simulate up to May 2nd and then go from there. Okay, we are here. It is now May 2nd. Looking back at April, it was a little inconsistent. We lost the opening day game against the Seattle Mariners. Then we ended up winning 5 straight, and then we lost 4 straight, so it kind of evened out. And then we just really went on an inconsistent stretch. You see a win, then a loss, then a win, then a loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, win, loss. And then we ended out on May 1st with a win. So really inconsistent. It's not really what I wanted to see. The offense, it showed up for the most part. The pitch, everyone was a little inconsistent. Some days the offense did good, other days they didn't. Some days the pitching did good, other days they didn't. There's not really much you can do about that. If we go to just check the standings real quick, we are currently 3 games behind the Houston Astros, so 13 and 11. Houston is 16 and 8, so at least we're still in it because I've said it before. You can't win the division in April, but you can certainly put yourself a little ways out of it. So at least we haven't done that. So if we go to pitching staff, Kershaw, he's doing pretty good, I guess. I'd like to see him do a little better, but right now he has a 3.34 ERA. It seems like he's had a bit of a rough go of it. That first opening day start, he let up 4 runs in 4 2/3 innings. Then the next game against Texas, he threw 6 innings of shutout ball, 5 Ks, no walks, and then he let up a quality start there, 7 1/3 innings, 3 earned runs. Then he went 8 innings, allowing only 1 run, and then he went 6 1/3, allowing 4 earned runs. That's what I'm talking about. Inconsistency. See 4-0, 3-1-4, just some inconsistency from him. Steven Matz, he's had a bit of a rough go of it to start off the season. Although, to be honest, it's not like the only reason his ERA is as high as it is because he only went 4 innings in these 2 starts right here. What was his pitch count? 74 and 77. Okay. But see, he's only allowed 3, 4, 4, 3, and 2 earned runs in each of his starts. The thing that is a bit concerning, he has let up 5 home runs, which is something I would not like to see from him. He started off with a quality start. He's not really striking out a ton of guys, at least recently. You see, he struck out 1 guy there, 1 guy in that Cleveland game. We've lost 3 of the 4 starts that he started for us. That's a bit concerning. Raisel Iglesias, very hot start to the season. His ERA would probably be low if it wasn't for this game where he let up 5 earned runs against the Indians. Seems like the Indians gave us some trouble. Wow. Boston, he almost had a quality start. He went 5 innings and allowed 3 earned runs, but the other 3 starts, this is what I'm talking about, inconsistency. Like, see, 7 innings of shutout ball, then lets up 3 runs. 8 innings of shutout ball, then went 6 1/3 and let up 5. And then he came back 8 innings of shutout ball. Like, what we just need to be consistent, and then we'll start going on some long stretches. Matt Moore's not looking too good. He has a 5.06 ERA. It seems like this guy is really, although it seems like the last start for most of these guys, at least, they got back on track. Like, this guy went 7 innings, allowed, only 1 run, 7 Ks, 2 walks. So it seems like, he's picking it up a little bit. His first start was good. It was just, it seems like for most of these guys, it's just like one bad start or a couple bad starts that really make their stats look worse than they actually are. Like, he went 3 1/3 against Boston and allowed 6 earned runs. And here he went 3 1/3 against Baltimore and he allowed 3 earned runs. Like, that's what I'm talking, more inconsistent, like 2, 6, 3, 3, 1. Like, we just got to be consistent. Kevin Gossman, he is a very pleasant surprise. He's 4-0 right now with a sparkling 0.84 ERA and 0.72 WHIP. He's projected to be an 8-win player with a .83 ERA and 260 innings pitched. We all know that's not going to happen, but it's nice to see him rounding out the rotation there as the 5th starter. The bullpen, Clippard is having a bit of a rough go of it, but Morin, Givens, Bedrosian, and Melanson surprisingly are doing good. Triggs and Burgos aren't doing so well. Triggs, it seems like he's just, still a little rusty. But I think he'll pick it up. I mean, he did really good for San Francisco last year, and even in 2017, he did good for both Oakland and San Fran, so I can't imagine he's going to keep up this poor performance. And Burgos, you remember he did pretty good for us last year after that trade. Yeah, you see he had an ERA under 3, a WHIP at 1.16, 35 Ks, 9 walks. I think he'll be fine. Oops, that's not what I wanted. It's just more inconsistent. Like you see 0, 1, 0, 0, 3. Like that's the reason. So we just got to be more consistent. I know I've said that word a lot already, but that's really the key. Mike Trout, hot start to the season. He's OPSing over 1,000, slashing 353, 435, 627 with an ISO of 275, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. Has 1 stolen base. He struck out 9 times. He's walked 9 though, which is good to see. Martin Maldonado, believe it or not, 942 OPS. He's hitting 329. Now, we all know 4 home runs. He's tied for the team lead in home runs. We all know that's not going to, keep up, but it's nice to see Maldonado at least starting off strong. We know he's going to regress, pretty well in a couple months here at least, but at least it's nice to see him doing something. Charlie Blackmon, in the time he spent covering for Mike Trout, he started 18 games. He's played 19 total. He's hitting close to 400. No home runs, but 6 RBIs, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 stolen bases. OPSing just under 900, which is nice to see. CJ Cron, he's had a hot start to the season as well. 319 average. He's tied for the team lead in home runs. He's tied with Maldonado, Brandon Belt, and Cole Calhoun. Let's see what else here. He has 21 strikeouts and only 4 walks. That's pretty ugly. It's a pretty ugly ratio. That's pretty close to like a a 7-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. That's really not good. But we'll hopefully he'll improve on that just a little bit. Jeffrey Marte in backup time. Oh, I didn't even know he was still on the team. What? Okay, I guess he's still on the team. Okay, you can be the backup third baseman, I guess. I don't know. I honestly did not. I was not aware this dude was still on the team. But okay, he's on there, so we're gonna get him some work in. Go back to lineups. Sort by OPS. Manny Garcia, you remember he was the international free agent we signed. He's doing pretty good in his first stint in the major leagues. 286, 324, 398, triple slash. No home runs, but he does have 9 RBIs. He leads the team in stolen bases with 5. He struck out 8 times, walked 6. So, this guy's doing pretty good for his first stint. Jose Iglesias, I mostly got him for his defense, so any offense he's providing will be a bonus, and it seems like he's doing pretty well there. Laurie, it seems like he's been a notoriously slow starter for at least this franchise. So I'll give him a couple months here, see if he can break out of this. He's only hitting 244, but as we've seen, he tends to get hotter towards the end of the season, which is always good. So we'll see if he breaks out. And then rounding out Jet Bandy, who basically is backup catcher, not too concerned about his offense. Once again, he's good defensively, so that's the reason he's the backup. And then we have Brandon Belt and Cole Calhoun, who, while they lead the team in home runs, or tie for the team lead in home runs, they're hitting under the Mendoza line. You see both of them have 29 strikeouts. Brandon Belt has 14 walks. Calhoun only has 7. Their on-base percentage is under 2. I'll just say, Brandon Belt 265, Calhoun 232, and they're both OPSing under 600, obviously. They're both negative win players right now, which is not good. Their BABIP, though, is extremely low. Belt's is 164, and Calhoun's is 203. So that'll probably, once that gets back up close to around, 270 to 300, their performance and their numbers will improve. And Hechavarria, once again, he's another guy I got mainly just for defense. So any offense he provides is a bonus. And since he's a backup, I'm not too concerned about that. But he's not doing anything offensively anyway, so that's that. Anything here that I need to check? It doesn't look like it. So I think what we're going to do is same thing we always do. We're going to go back to here, and then we're going to simulate up to the first-year player draft, which should be, I believe, the Thursday, June 6th. So let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully we're doing a little bit better when we talk next. All right, here we are. We are back. It is Thursday, June 6th. It is the first-year player draft. As you see, May went a little bit better for us than April. We started off with this sweep here against the Jacksonville Hanu. We took 2 or 3 from the Rays, and then we ended up taking just 1 or 3 in our next 3 series. We took 1 or 3 from the Blue Jays, the Yankees, and the Astros. But then we took 2 out of 3 from the Athletics, 2 out of 3 from the Royals, 1 out of 3 from the Mariners, and then 1 out of 3 from the Rangers. Before we took 2 out of 3 from Boston, and right now we're working on a series sweep here against the Chicago White Sox. Surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, but we're hanging in there with the Houston Astros. We're tied with them right now, 31-25 here at the start of June. 5-5 in our last 10. They're 4-6. They've won 2 straight. We've won 3. The good thing for us, though, the wild card, we're tied for what appears to be the second wild card spot, because we have 2 teams tied for the first wild card spot because they're tied in the division, and then 2 teams tied for the second wild card spot because we're tied for the division lead with the Astros. So we're still in it, which is pretty surprising. Well, I keep saying surprising. It's just I've not. It's been a while since we've seen success like this in this franchise series, so it's always nice to see. What is this? Pilots. Oh, so this is one of the expansion teams. So Delman Young and James Davidson are going to Boston for 25-year-old Sam. Oh, look at that. The Pilots actually got one of the top prospects in the league. Look at that. Or maybe not one of... Was he one of those top prospects at the beginning of the year? Or am I thinking of somebody else? He might have been. I don't know. Well, either way, that's good for San Antonio. It's always good for an expansion team to get a player like that. Let's see. So it is the first-year player draft, so... It seems like it's really pitching heavy. There's 6 pitchers and only 4 hitters in the top 10, at least according to BNN, what is that, the Baseball News Network or something. So Jacksonville and San Antonio, they both have the top picks in the draft, not surprisingly, followed by Atlanta, Chicago, and Miami. So it seems like this Mike Villalobos guy, a center fielder, he's the top overall prospect, followed by Ruben Martinez, Joe Herring, Chris English, Sam Kramer, Travis Carrig, Billy Novotny. There we go. Let's try that one. Antonio Barraza, Xavier Edwards, and Carlos Aldana are the top 10 prospects, it would seem. So if we go to, here we go, team chemistry update. Running very well. Little tension. Kershaw, any disruptions. Did you hear any good jokes lately? None of the guys. I'm going to hold back because we're actually performing well, so I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Let's just check the pitching staff real quick. Okay, so Kershaw, Matz, and Iglesias, they're all doing really, really well. Moore is still struggling, but Gossman, he's still doing pretty good. The bullpen's doing really well, too. Triggs is going back to what I thought he would do. Clippard's done, he's improved. Burgos, he's still having a little difficulty, but he's improved a little bit. Melanson's doing good. Morin's doing great, as is Givens. So the pitching staff's looking pretty good. If we go to lineups once again, so now Jet Bandy in limited time is OPSing over 1,000. Mike Trout's still OPSing over 1,000. 8 home runs, 29 RBIs, 34 strikeouts, 31 walks. This is the type of season that we expect out of Trout. Now he's 5 stolen bases. CJ Cron is still raking, as is Charlie Blackmon. Conforto is doing pretty good. He was injured. I forgot to mention that in the last break. He was injured, so I'm giving him a little bit of time to kind of readjust. Maldonado, as we expected, he regressed a little bit, but he's still in 261, so can't be too mad. Garcia sitting close to 300, OPS and close to 700. Hechavarria is doing pretty good in limited time. Calhoun, he's improved, obviously. Brandon Belt, he's still having really big issues, but you see his BABIP, it's just above 200. Once that gets close to 300, his numbers will definitely improve. The issue right now is just that his BABIP is way below average. That's why it's not that he's doing bad. It's just that he's not having a lot of luck. These balls aren't falling. Once some of these balls start falling into the into the outfield or whatever, he starts getting infield singles or whatever, and the BABIP starts increasing, then he'll definitely, those numbers will improve. He's not as bad as this. He's not a 163 hitter. He's not a 272 OBP guy. He's a lot better than that, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't have signed him. So, back to the first-year player draft. There we go. Oh, another thing I should mention. Where we go? Pitching staff. Pitching staff. Clayton Kershaw, he won Pitcher of the Month for May. It seems like he had a really good month of May, especially late. It seems like he's on a bit of a roll, too. So this is exactly why we're paying this guy. What are we paying this guy? This is exactly why we're paying this guy $37.5 million. So at least he's holding up his end of the bargain. But anyway, first-year player draft. We have the 9th overall selection. I would have had the 7th overall selection if it wasn't for the Hanu and the Pilots, but I can't be too mad. Continue the draft. At least we get one of the top 10 players. So until the next pick. All right, so Barraza was one of the top 10 guys, and he's still available. We're looking at all pitchers. I want all players. That center fielder looked good, but I imagine he was taken. No, Villalobos is still there. Extremely hard sign. Great competition level in college. This could potentially be the guy if we chose to replace Trout. This could potentially be the guy that we replace him with, because both OSA and our head scout are high on him. That's what you like to see. But I want to look at this Barraza guy. Okay, no, he's a 2-pitch pitcher. He's going to be a bullpen guy. I'm not drafting a bullpen guy, 9th overall. Nick DeLeo, nope, another bullpen guy. How about Josh Elam? He's never going to be able to hit for average. Escamilla. Okay, now, well, his fastball is not going to be good. It's only going to be, yeah. It's a shame, too, because his other ratings are good. His stamina is good. He can hold runners pretty well. How about Dylan Hudson? He's going to be a bullpen guy, 2-pitch pitcher. Ruben Prieto, another 2-pitch pitcher. A lot of 2-pitch pitchers here. A lot of guys that won't be starters. It was very pitching heavy, but a lot of these guys won't be starters, unfortunately. So, yeah, I think we're definitely going to go with Villalobos. It seems like he could be a 5, well, maybe not a 5-tool player because he doesn't have speed, but he can hit. He can hit for average. He can hit for power. He's really good defensively. He can even play first base, which would be nice. Yeah, you see the competition level was great at the college he went to. So, yeah, we're going to get Mike what was I saying? Villalobos this whole time? Villalobos. There we go. Let's get it right. We're going to draft this guy. Let's get it right. So he wants the recommended slot. So we're just going to draft and offer the slot. And that'll be good. So until the next pick. So hopefully he develops. Be nice. Now who's this guy? Tom Elfson. Okay, so here's a guy. It seems like this guy, yeah, he's only going to be another bullpen guy, though, because he has 2+ pitches, but the other 2 are mediocre. He's going to have stuff and control, no movement, average competition level at Liberty Christian Academy in Tavares, Florida. All right, maybe not him. How about a catcher? You can never have too much catchers. They seem to have value in this game. All right, maybe Jim McFall. Oh, that's an impossible sign, though. I don't want to do that. Jimmy Ross. Okay, now here's a guy. Average competition level at a high school. Extremely hard. His bonus demand is 2.8 mil. What is the slot here? What is the recommended slot? 330,000. Ugh. That's fine, though. If I don't find anybody better, I think I'm going to take him. Just see Garrity. He's pretty solid, too. Hard sign. What was his demand? Just the slot? How about Chapman? Nope. How about Klisham? That's another bullpen guy. 2+ pitches, but his changeup is not going to be too good, at least according to my head scouts. Ben Crocker. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Jimmy Ross here. So we're going to draft the player and meet his demand afterwards. I don't know why I didn't just click the meet demand button, but oh well. Okay, so Elfson's still there. Yeah, I don't really want him, though. Yeah, I don't... Is it... I'm thinking about this Jim McFall guy. Oh, wait, no, that's the impossible sign. Whoops, okay. Definitely not him. Dan Est. Okay, here's another... I know he's another shortstop, but it seems like he could be a solid bench guy. He only wants the slot. Average competition, he hit close to 500 in high school. Josh Perez, maybe? Impossible sign. Now, see, there's a starter. He has 3, solid pitches. His changeup's not going to be anything special. Control, he won't have stuff. Movement's going to be good defensively, though. Good stamina. He can hold runners. He's an impossible sign, though. Of course he is. School of the Future. Is that a real school? School of the Future. That's pretty cool. Gonna look that up, actually, later on. Okay, so this guy's never going to hit for average. Never at all. Okay. David Sabater. Extremely hard sign out of Putnam City. Average competition level at high school. OSA is not very high on him. Our head scout is, though. I'm thinking David Sabater or Sabater. Sabater? I don't know. So we're going to... He only wants the slot, so we're going to draft and offer the slot. Until next pick. Okay, so Elfson and Perez or Elfson's still there. I don't know why, but what does OSA have to say about him? Okay, now see, that is a bullpen arm I wouldn't mind having, but I guess it's not that different, though, from what my head scout's saying, to be perfectly honest. Just his changeup's going to be a lot better. No, I'm not going to draft him. How about Jerry Blanco? Another bullpen guy. See, like a lot of these pitchers in this draft, they only have 2 good pitches. That's the problem. All right, now here's a guy who he has no movement, though. I hate that. Well, I don't hate that. Don't take it that way. Travis Hoskins, maybe? How about Bob Caudill? Okay, this guy has speed and he can play the field. He only wants a slot. He went to college. Didn't do very well in college, though. I like to see these guys do a little bit better than a 295 average. David Cruz. Alright, he's a normal sign. He has some speed to him. Seems like he could hit pretty well. Solid in the out. Yeah, let's go with David Cruz. Why not? I know we drafted Villalobos, but let's go with David Cruz. He only wants the recommended slot, so next pick. Alright, now who does our scouting director think we should take? Ryan Williams, a 6'4", 220-pound first baseman from college. Or, no, high school. I don't know why I said college. He's never going to hit for average, though. He's an easy sign, though, and he does have good power. That always sells. Yeah, we'll take a shot on him. Yeah, sure. Why not? Take a shot. Alright, Elfson's still there. I feel like I have to take this guy because it's the 6th round? The 7th round, this guy's still here. If he's still there in the next round, I'll take a shot on him. Who is this? Ramon Callias? How about Joe Snyder? Another guy that won't hit for average. Good defensively, though. Solid speed, I suppose. Danny Mango. Really good speed. Okay in the field. John Marshall. Another really good speed guy. Really good in the outfield. Extremely hard sign. I'm thinking, who does our scouting director think we should take? Jimmy Bowes? Who is this? A starting pitcher. I don't really, fair, I'd rather have Elfson if I'm going to get a pitcher. You know, yeah, we're going to go with Elfson. We can deal with that 1.6 because he's still there in the 8th round. You can't pass up 4.5 stars in the 8th round, especially when he's not an impossible sign. And then I'm thinking maybe Danny Mango. Was I thinking Mango or was I thinking Caudill? No, I was thinking Caudill. Yeah, okay. And then if Danny Mango's still there, we're going to get him. Alright, then we're going to get Danny Mango. Alright, and then we're just going to auto-draft. So I'm going to cut out here. I will come back probably when we sign all of our draft guys. Or maybe just, the start of July. I don't know. I think actually I'm just going to go on ahead to the... Oh, wow, that didn't take as long as I thought it was going to. Okay. So, negotiate draftees. Whoa. Okay, so he wanted the recommended slot. So he wants 5. I guess he's worth 5.5 mil. So this guy wants 2.8. So we'll meet his demand. Then who else do we want? Tom Elfson. We'll meet his demand. And then, okay, yeah, I did not... Wait, I got... Oh, that's one of the guys I was thinking of, Callias. This Pollock guy, I saw his name. Is he going to be another speed guy? We're going to let them go, though. Impossible signs, all of them. So we're just going to let them go. Maybe draft them after they come out of college, but we're going to let them go now. And, yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate ahead to probably like the beginning of July. Maybe the All-Star break, I'm not sure. And go from there. Okay, we are here. It is June 27th. The All-Star game is actually Friday, June 28th for some reason. I know the further you go into like these seasons, whenever you start a franchise, the schedules start to get like a little janky, and you start having like, opening day, either really early or really late, or you have the All-Star game like really, really early or really, So I'm not going to question it. It's fine. We did get all the guys we wanted to, as you can see. The only guys we didn't get were these impossible guys that I didn't even extend an offer to, so... I'm not too concerned. Going to the American League All. Nope, that's not what I want. So let's see. So we got Iglesias, Kershaw, Kevin Gossman. So 3/5 of our starting rotation made it in. Surprisingly, Matz didn't. Well, I can't say, if you had told me before the season that Gossman would have made it in before Matz, I would have been very surprised. But it seems like we have 3 guys with. Gossman's actually doing really, really well. Look at this. He's become a 4.5-star pitcher. He wasn't like that before the season started. This dude has a 1.64 ERA through 13 games. Can't be too mad at that. There's Bobby Wall, all-star mainstay. Seems like it over the past few years. Iglesias, a 2.62 ERA. Kershaw, a 2.51. That's why we're paying him $37.5 million. He's already a 5-win player. Anybody else make it? Morin didn't make it, unfortunately. Trout did, though. And this time it's deserving. 353, 461, 601 triple slash, 11 home runs, 6 stolen bases. He's a 4-win player. So that's good to see. Any surprises? Anybody that maybe shouldn't have made it? I guess all the, these are all pretty explainable, I guess. Yeah, okay, yeah, I agree with most of that. Yeah, okay. Yep, and then moving on to the National League here. Let's see here. Oh, of course, Akiyama made. That's what I meant to do. I meant to check how Akiyama was doing. You know what? I still... He has 11 home runs. I mean... It's great that he's hitting 259, I guess. I just thought he would be better, but... Oh, well. He's projected to be a 4-win player, so there's no use looking back. So, oh, well. Let's go back down. Let's see here. So, Syndergaard made it. Betances made it. Here's something funny. For some reason... Oops, not that guy. I wanted to go to the Dodgers. So, if I go to here... I just love looking at the Dodgers team, just like how stacked it is. Because if we go to their rosters and transactions, they have now they have Wade Davis as well. So if we go to their pitching, Alex Wood, Steven Strasburg, Madison Bumgarner, Julio Urias, and Kenta Maeda. They have Wade Davis. They have I thought Betances. Did I read the wrong team? I thought it said Betances was on the Dodgers. Yeah, he is. Wait, did they... Oh, he was injured. Okay. Well, they have Betances too, by the way, in case you wanted to know that. Chris Sale and Syndergaard made it for the Mets. There's Alex Wood. Wade Davis. Any Phillies make it? Nope. Nolan Arenado's still doing good. How's Bryce Harper doing? He's doing solid. David Dahl, he's doing okay. Christian Yelich. Okay, no, not really any surprises there either. Nope, okay. So I think now what I'm going to do is, since the All-Star game is way earlier than I thought it was, I think I'm just going to simulate to July 12th? July 25th. We're going to go to July 25th in this video, and then we'll determine what we want to do at that point. Of course we're not going to go to that July date, because once again I forgot that the international free agent signing period began, so it seems like the top prospects are Cabrera, Calderon, Omar Cruz. Okay, that Cruz guy looks good. It's a pretty weak class at this point. I mean, Sanchez could be good. Okay, so Ricardo Garcia and Cruz seem to be the looks. Cassia. Oh, okay. Well, things that we have another as much as I would like to get this guy, we already have Jimenez, although he only wants $850,000. Why is his OSA rating's got to be low, right? Yeah, that's what it is. All right, well, I can't pass up on this guy. I have no restrictions. Who's this Galvin guy? Okay. I might as well try to get these guys because these guys don't want a lot of money. Like this Cordova guy, he doesn't want anything. Yeah. All right, yeah, we're going to try to do that. So we're going to try to get... he's a frat. Yeah, I don't want to deal with a fragile guy. Garcia looks like he could be okay. Yeah, okay. So we're going to try to get this guy, offer contract. We're just going to splash this year. We're going to try to get as much guys as possible. Let's try to get you for just $1 million. Okay. Let's try to get you for Try to avoid a bidding war here. 1.6. Eduardo Hernandez. Did we look at him? Okay, no, I don't want him. This Cordova guy. That's who I wanted. Let's try to get you for 490 maybe. I know this is all gonna go up, but and then we wanted, who did we want? Garcia. Yeah, we wanted Garcia. Okay, offer contract. Well, you know what? I'm not going to try to get Garcia. I'm going to try to just pull all my money for these guys. And if Garcia's still there, oh, yo, Bustamante. The reason that name is familiar is because there was back in OOTP 16, I had a starting pitcher by the last name of that. So that's pretty interesting. Now we have a shortstop. Oops. Is there any other starting pitcher that doesn't want a lot? The OSA ratings have to be really high on this guy, right? He wants $2 million? Is there any pitcher? Juan Vila. Here we go. I'll sign him in the hopes that maybe we'll get lucky. Because he doesn't want anything either, so offer contract. And we'll do that. Okay. So I think I'm going to simulate ahead until we either get news that these guys sign somewhere else or we get these guys, hopefully the latter. So I will be back. All right, so we are here. It is Thursday, July 25th. I want to say a couple days, 6 days before the trade deadline on July 31st. We are currently 54 and 45. You know, I really get irked by it. Like, whenever we win, like, the Astros win, but then as soon as we lose a game, you know, like, they win. Like, you know, we win, they don't lose, but we lose, they still win. So, now we're actually 6 games out of the AL West, which is something to scoff at. I mean, we are in a tie for the second wildcard spot with the Boston Red Sox, 1 game ahead of the Rangers, and we're only 6 games back of the Astros, who would appear to be tied for the best record in the league. Yeah, so they're tied with the Cubs. So, you know, we're up there. We're one of the better teams in the league this year, actually. We're, you know, 6 games back, one of the best teams in the league. That's not too bad. That's something to scoff at or be upset about. Looking at the expansion teams, the San Antonio Pilots, they're 34 and 65. The Hanu are 45 and 53. Excuse me. And just looking at the team. Oh, one thing I do want to mention: we did get all those guys, international free agents that we wanted, but also our scout discovered this center fielder in Venezuela, 16-year-old Joel Miranda. It seems like he could be a really, really solid guy. It seems like he could hit for average, really good gap power, really good home run power. His eye's not going to be too good, but he can avoid Ks. His ratings are pretty good. I imagine he's going to get better in the field as he gets older, and his speed seems to be pretty good too. So if he could develop, that would be really, really good. It seems like his nickname is Caveman, so I'd love to have him up here. Just have a Caveman up on this team. That'd be awesome. But what was that? Okay, nothing. So, big swap. What is a big swap? Tom J. Murphy, Hayden. Okay. But yeah, that's that. So if we go to the team home screen, we are currently 10th in runs scored, 2nd in batting average. You see Brandon Belt got injured, but he's only out for 1 more day. So that's all good. 6th in OBP. We're tied for 12th in home runs, 5th in stolen bases. What was the last time we were 5th in stolen bases? I don't think we've ever been 5th in stolen bases. 2nd in runs against, 2nd in stars ERA, 6th in bullpen ERA. That's what I was hoping for when I got all these pitchers, that this would happen, and it has. And 12th in defensive efficiency. Looks like Carpio's doing pretty good down in Double-A, so that's good. Hopefully he continues to develop. If we look at pitching staff here, Kershaw and Iglesias are both doing good, as is Gossman. They both have ERAs under 3. Actually, both of them, or all 3 of them, have ERAs around 2.5. Matz is doing okay, I suppose. I imagine he'll get better. He's 28 years old. 3.98 ERA. He's not that bad. He's not a 4 ERA kind of guy, so he'll get better. Matt Moore, he has not gotten it. Although it seems like he's getting it together. I mean, after that 7-inning or that 7-run outburst against Toronto, he's allowed 2 earned runs each of his last 4 starts. Albeit the last one he only went 4 innings. I don't think he's this bad. I really don't. We're going to keep him in there. I mean, if anything, I would like to get a pitcher to replace him, but he's doing good. Burgos, he's having a bit of a rough go of it. Bedrosian and Morin are doing good, but now Givens and Clippard are having some issues. Triggs is doing good. Alright, you know what I'm going to do, actually? I'm going to move you to middle relief. I'm going to use you to setup. 7th or later. Bedrosian. We're going to move Actually, we're going to use you in 8th. We're going to move you to middle relief. And setup. 7th. Okay, so we're going to try that real quick. See if that works better for us. Yeah, so if we go to the lineups and OPS, Mike Trout still OPSing over 1,000, 360 average, 459 OBP, 17 home runs, 63 RBIs, 8 stolen bases, 66 strikeouts, 61 walks. Conforto's doing good. Crohn's, he's still performing really, really well. As is Charlie Blackmon. And Denny Hechavarria is looking good. Jeffrey Marte, he's looking solid and really backup time. Manny Garcia, he still has 15 stolen bases. I don't think anybody in this in like this series, this franchise series I'm doing, has ever had 15 stolen bases on my team. Calhoun, he's still having a bit of an issue, but his BABIP is 272, so I think he'll pick it up. Well, at least it's not what it was. I mean, he does have 11 home runs, 45 RBIs. He struck out 94 times, though, and he's only walked 29. That is not good at all. Although Cron struck out 93 times, he's only walked 17, so... Brett Lawrie, he's still hovering around where he was at the beginning of the season. Maldonado has completely regressed down to about 219. Glacius is still doing fine, as is Bandy. And if I wanted to see if Belt was doing any better. Alright, well, he's above the Mendoza line. At least he was before he got injured. So, alright, so that's that. I think what we're going to do is end the video right here. Going into the trade deadline. If you have any ideas, let me know. I'm not going to say I'm going to do them because, to be honest, I'm perfectly content with this team. We have a nice solid 1-2-3 punch, and honestly 1-2-3-4 punch with Gossman for the playoffs if we do make it. I like our setup guys and our closer. I think our bullpen will be solid enough. I like our lineup. I like everything about this team. So leave a like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. Once again, there will be a video tomorrow. It'll actually be an MLB The Show 16 video, my first episode of my Fantasy Draft franchise. Where you guys will see the full draft. I think that's currently what I'm leaning towards right now. I don't know if I want to do post commentary or just a full draft. I'm not too sure yet, but you guys will find out tomorrow. So, as always, thanks for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day.